ang schoolmates at syempre kasama pa rin natin si Matt and Gijet. And this time, sasamahan naman tayo ng isang sociologist at practicing lawyer. So, nandito si Sir Eman Kaliwan. So, Sir Eman, in the perspective of society, how does the society now see kalayaan or freedom?
Okay. So, bilang isang sociologist, no, ang nakikita namin, no, ang observation namin, ito yung observation na ng isang prominent sociologist sa kanyang libro, Escape from Freedom. No? Si Eric Fromm wrote a book, Escape from Freedom. At nakikita na natin ito ngayon sa lipunan natin. Kasi ang konsepto ng freedom, ng kalayaan, has responsibility attached to it.
Right.
But in our society right now, we forgo with the responsibility. We want freedom in an individualistic point of view. So we want happiness for our own, but we don't consider our society.
Right.
So yun yung problema sa lipunan ngayon, no? We want a lot of freedoms, we want to exercise a lot of freedoms, but in a way we forgo with the responsibility attached to it.
We can see somehow a proof of that, di ba? Na parang somehow when we see freedom, what is it that I can do? Right? It's never, what can I do for my country? What can we do as a collective? How can we benefit from each other? It's never a conversation like that, di ba? Lalo na in today's generation, wherein it's, kumbaga, I would say, has a very different challenge compared to other generations. We've never seen war yet in its fullest form.
Yes.
We've never seen grief, hunger, loss of life na parang as brutal as how other generations have witnessed it. So, the sense of freedom somehow is skewed towards what can we do?
Yes.
What can I do right now? Or what is the limitation that I can exceed, di ba? So as mentioned nga ni Matt kanina, di ba? So, Matt, sabi mo, parang may limitations pa rin dapat, no? Kumbaga yung limitation is what can we do now for others? When we talk about society and freedom, is there a way really na society or lalo na yung mga kabataan ngayon can contribute na ma-achieve ng ating current generation yung true freedom?
Since I'm also a member of a history association, no, we see that what is lacking in this society, in this generation, is a spirit that would guide them in contributing to a better society. And what is that spirit? We don't, as mentioned earlier, no, people don't share anymore an idea, a collectivity. That collectivity can be shared through history. But we see that our younger generation and even the older generation does not value history. They don't see history as something that would unite them. Kaya individualistic, no?
Right.
Freedom is my own happiness, but not the happiness of our society.
Right.
Because the one that would guide us to that better future is history. Understanding that our heroes fought not for themselves, no? Kung lumaban sila para lang sa kanilang sarili, dapat kumampi na lang sila sa mananakop, di ba?
Right.
So they fought not for themselves, but for the society, a better society, a better future. And siguro in that sense, no, kasi multidimensional talaga yung freedom, what can be guiding is the writings of Amartya Sen. He's an economist, a Nobel Prize awardee who wrote a book entitled Development as Freedom. If our country would be developed, that's the true freedom, the true
Right.
sense of freedom. We see everything as individualistic, no? Because yun nga, the society is really problematic. No? Malaki yung problema ng lipunan. Politically, economically, socially, and all of those problems, we need to find a solution so that we could have what we call the true definition of freedom.
May tanong ako actually. So guys, kayo din, no? Feel free to weigh in. Ang daming student organizations, madaming groups who are fighting for their different advocacies. So are we to say na as a society, since we have very different rights that we are fighting for, there is not yet that one idea na this is something that we're all striving for. Kumbaga, am I correct? Na parang ganun yung ano natin. Di ba? Iba-ibang boses, iba-iba ng pagkakasabi, pero isa lang naman yung gusto. Pero hindi, somehow, hindi tayo magkarinigan. Di ba? Parang different organizations na marahil pare-pareho lang din naman ang gustong ipaglaban. Pero iba-iba ang sinasabi, di ba? As a Filipino, we don't really have a sense of what a Filipino is.
Yes.
What is that one idea na parang magbubuklod sa ating bilang mga Pilipino? Independence Day nga lang ba ang paraan para tayo ay mag-unite? Or kailangan pa ba ng threat sa ibang bansa para maramdaman mo, shucks, Pilipino ako. May mga karapatan ako natatapakan. So ngayon, puntahan naman natin. Ito yung mga gusto natin pag-usapan pero hindi natin nasasabi. As I mentioned off-screen, ang hirap pag-usapan ng mga gintong issues ng bayan. Why? Because there's already a threat to freedom. Diba? We're not freely being able to speak because we fear for repercussions, consequences. So ngayon, sa tingin nyo ba ay mas malakas ba ang sense of patriotism ng henerasyon ngayon given na ang sabi sa henerasyon daw ngayon ay mas socially aware or parang in tune with themselves? Tingin mo ba, Sir Eman, malakas ba ang patriotism?
As a sociologist, I would say no. Again, one dimension so that we could prove na hindi ganun kalakas ang patriotism sa Pilipinas is when you look at social media and people discussing in social media. What are they discussing? Ano yung pinag-uusapan at ano yung pinagbabalitaktakan ng mga tao sa social media? At tingnan mo yung mga age group na nag-uusap. No? From the conversation, no, you can analyze this generation. No? That's one way of doing sociology, no, analyzing social media. And you can see na hindi talaga bayan ang inuuna nila, no? Kasi yun ang konsepto ng patriotism. Bayan bago ang sarili.
Right.
But the problem is, yun nga, social media has provided us a lot of information. I agree with that. But that information also does not unite us. No? It feeds us what we want. Kaya may algorithm ang social media.
FYPs nyo, anong mga laman? Joke?
Because basically, kung ano yung lagi mong sinesearch, yun ang lalabas sa feeds mo. And in that, no, you can categorize people. In that sense, no, hindi pa nare-reach ng Pilipinas yung patriotism na pinagtrabahuhan ng older generation.
Right.
Because we forgot the value of protecting our own and valuing our own. No?
Right.
Nung ako'y professor pa sa sociology, may concept kami, no, yung tinatawag na ethnocentrism at xenocentrism. So in the Philippines, ang problema sa atin, we are very xenocentristic. In a sense that we economically, mas kinukonsumo natin yung mga produkto na foreign. No? Again, you must value your own so that you could develop. No? Nawawala tayo dun sa idea ng development kung ang pinaprioritize natin ay yung produkto ng iba.
Correct.
No? So, yun yung economic dimension ng problema ng freedom. No? Yung political dimension naman, meron tayong tinatawag na fear of freedom and escape from freedom. No? Sabi ni Eric Fromm, itong escape from freedom at fear from freedom, ayaw na nating exercise yung ating freedom, so we lean to totalitarian leaders. No? Bakit natin gusto ng mga populist leaders? Bakit mas gusto natin yung mga leaders na mag-iisip para sa atin at hindi tayo mag-iisip para sa lipunan? No? Ang lipunan, no, ay tayo ang magdadala niyan, no? Yung mga tao, yung kabataan, at yung mga henerasyon ngayon. No? Pero sa escape from freedom, pinapabayaan natin. Hindi tayo ang nagdadala ng hinaharap, bagkus binibigay natin to sa mga populist leader at mga totalitarian leader. And that's basically an escape from freedom. In sociology of power, which is one of my field of interest, I see na yung ibang student leaders pa are not there to serve, but they want power for themselves.
Correct.
Yes, they want people to see them in the pedestal and not in service. No?
Right.
So, may term kami dyan sa academe, no, yung mga nasa pedestal, yung ivory tower. No?
Correct.
So, mga leaders in the ivory tower, they are not really for service. They just want the clout, the title, and the power, the prestige. Kasi yung power kasi sa sociology, wealth, prestige, and power yan. No? Tatlo yan, sabi ni Max Weber. So, kung may power ka, in some way, you'll have prestige, and it would bring about wealth later on. No? So, yun yung siguro tinitignan ngayon, no? Isang problema. Yung ibang leaders are not really leaders in a sense that they want to serve, but they want prestige and wealth that comes with the power.
Correct. So, siguro, gusto ko lang din mag-weigh in a bit more on some of the social issues na nangyayari ngayon na I'm sure we are well aware of, but we don't want to talk about it. For example, West Philippine Sea. We talk so much about being patriotic by having that mental image that we will go there, plant our flag, makipag-bombard ng ating water cannon sa dumadaang fleet. And at the same time, we are also having an influx of pogos, of a lot of parang illegal activities, we might say, here in the Philippines, but under the ruse that it is an official business. So, what can we say about being patriotic and the threat? Is it really a threat with all these things that are happening? Is it really a threat to patriotism and freedom of Filipinos? Siguro, weigh into tayo, yes or no kayo. Ikaw.
Yes, it is a threat to our freedom.
Ikaw, Matt.
Well, West Philippine Sea, the issue, yun yung tanong, no? No, it's not a threat.
For me, both as a sociologist and as a lawyer, I see it as a threat. International law, rule of law, those are the things that we champion as lawyers. No, we need to live in a society where rule of law
Correct.
governs. But what's happening in the West Philippine Sea, the influx of pogo, erodes the rule of law. In what way? No, there is this right of navigation and the right of fishing. No, a classmate of mine specializes on that. No, his
Maritime laws,
thesis
yes.
and his studies are on the rights, the fishing rights. No, and China taking those territory from us, which are basically time immemorial has been fished by Filipino fishermen, is an erosion of the rule of law and the erosion of the rights. No, rights are always synonymous with freedom. No? Rights are basically the exercise of freedom. So freedom can be very technical, but if you exercise it, that's what we call right. And if you cannot anymore exercise it, there's no freedom to start with. And that for me as a lawyer and as a sociologist is the problem. No? It's a problem of national security. It's a problem of people economic right for those resources, and it's a social problem as well. In the near future, if we allow this, definitely a chunk of our territory would be given to them.
Correct.
It's already given to them kasi meron na nga silang
Technically,
mga...
grant of access.
Given,
Yun. Entry yun.
It's given, it's taken. Given because again, this would not happen without the approval of the powers that should protect the Philippines. No? Yes. Not only the people that became complacent, but the government. Remember the number one constitutional concept, parens patriae. The country is the parent of the whole nation.
Correct.
And without the country doing what is best for its children, definitely the children would starve to death at the end of the day.
Ito yung mga bagay na ayaw natin pag-usapan kasi natatakot tayo na as a country, we don't have the power to really fight for a right, 'di ba? So, actually, gets ko na nag-connect si si Sir Eman tsaka si Jujet. Ang gusto kong malaman is bakit inisip mong hindi?
Well, it's a threat physically to our freedom. Right? It's an external threat. It's another state. But have you seen public opinion regarding the West Philippine Sea? It's not a threat to our patriotism. It actually is one of the unifying issues, I would say, in the country right now. Well, Atin Ito Coalition, the West Philippine Sea Atin Ito Coalition, started on September, convened by, for example, Akbayan Party, Akbayan Youth, SCAP, and among others, NGOs, CSOs like PRRM. We have been wanting to civilianize and normalize civilian supply missions in the West Philippine Sea. I have joined the December 2023 convoy and the last one, the May 14 to 17 convoy. And you can see, after that May 14 to 17 convoy, another one, just last week, ship, another civilian convoy, just went. That's outside Atin Ito's, what do you call this, initiative. Another one, for example, our fisher folks went there last week ago. So we can see this, we don't want to militarize the West Philippine Sea issue. It's not a threat in our patriotism, but it is a threat to our sovereignty and our freedom as a Filipino people. But it really unites us. Kagaya ng sinasabi niyo po kanina, bakit ito pa yung kailangan para magkaisa ang mamamayang Pilipino? But throughout history, I think you would agree, attorney, we have been unifying because of foreign powers, because we are fighting against foreign powers. I mean,
Correct.
you know, the Spanish colonization, American
Correct.
colonization, saglit na British occupation, Japanese occupation, the World War II, and now, against China.
Correct, correct. So, kumbaga parang lagi natin napapansin na nagkakaroon lang tayo ng sense or ping na, shucks, Pilipino ako, kapag we're faced with a threat outside.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we do realize na internally, as a country, there's still a lot of work to be done kasi not everyone has that thinking na it's a threat eh. To them, it's just another social media issue na possibly fabricated. There are many people that if we notice on social media, don't believe in that. Diba? To them, it's even a case of racism daw.
And,
Diba?
and one thing is, the sad thing is, it's a small percent, but some Filipinos
a
are
lot
pro-China. It's pro-China. Why would you be pro-China? Why would you be a pros something another
Correct,
state?
correct.
Yeah.
Or there are a
I
lot of
think they're
memes
scared.
also na ginagawa siyang joke na
Yeah.
gusto ko na lang maging taga-ibang bansa, 'di ba? So these are timely and relevant issues especially for our generation today na hindi natin napag-uusapan because we're so blinded with a lot of distractions. Siguro, guys, ngayon naman, ibalik ko rin yung tanong Sir Eman, no. Ano sa tingin niyo naman yung advantage nating mga kabataan given na may mga ganitong initiatives but as we've said earlier, there's possibly not one unifying theme or unifying idea and it could possibly be this. Anong advantage ng mga kabataan given na iba-iba ang ating opinion on ROTC, on militarization, on education, iba-iba ang take ng mga kabataan. Anong advantage natin bilang mga kabataan na ihulma yung idea ng freedom at patriotism ngayon sa ating henerasyon?
Siguro I would refer to Jurgen Habermas in his democratization. No? The ideas of the generation, the varying ideas of this generation and the younger generation would help, no, kung meron silang boses para pag-usapan ng mga issue na to at yung mga opinion nila ay mas masasala nila sa pakikipag-usap sa ibang may contrary opinion, no, in a way madidemocratize sila. No, ito yung sinasabi ni Jurgen Habermas. Democratization is empowering, no? Empowering the youth to have their own voice and not the voice of the older generation that might have a different point of view than them. No, yun yung advantage, no. Kailangang salain itong mga usapin na to hanggang makarating sila sa isang unified opinion. And that would be kaya nga sabi nila, no, yung opinion, no, marketplace of ideas. Basically, you choose what is the best. So, in that sense, no, kung makakapag-usap sila, no, may platform kung saan makakapag-usap sila at makikita nila, no, matatanggal yung tinatawag na cognitive dissonance, no. Yun yung problema ngayon, no. Yung cognitive dissonance, it's a psychological concept kung saan ito yung paniniwala ko, kung contrary yung sinasabi mo sa paniniwala ko, magkalaban na tayo.
You can't sit with us pag di
Yes.
belong ang idea mo.
Pero kung tatanggalin natin yon at pakikinggan natin ang iba't ibang opinion hanggang makita natin yung talagang mabuti para kalabanin itong mga problema na to, that's the time that we will have a better chance of having a better future. And that's through the process of, sabi ni Jurgen Habermas, democratization. Pero yun, no, malayo-layo pa.
Correct, correct. At saka siguro, sa ating mga kabataan, uso sa ating maging egoistic at some point eh. Na parang, hindi, tama ako eh, di ba? We don't like being proven wrong. And I don't think it's just in this generation, no? But sometimes it also comes across different ages or different generations. So we don't want to be proven wrong because we came with experience. We saw some things. And these are things that divides us even further. So this gives us a bit more mileage from the freedom that we truly want. So, guys, hinto ko muna, no, dahil marami na tayong napag-usapan. So, I'm sure kailangan natin i-absorb ang lahat ng ating napag-usapan at natutunan at more of it sa pagbabalik lamang ng Schoolmates!